Good evening, Eagles fans, and welcome to another electrifying update from the heart of Philadelphia football. Picture this, it's a crisp October night at Lincoln Financial Field, the "Fly Eagles Fly" chant echoing through South Philly, but inside the NovaCare complex, the vibes are anything but harmonious. The question on everyone's mind: can the Eagles offense find its soul again, or are we watching a heavyweight champ stuck in the corner, unable to throw the knockout punch? Let's dive into the drama that's got the city of brotherly love buzzing. The big story today revolves around a fiery debate within the Eagles locker room, sparked by none other than star running back Saquon Barkley. After a gut-punch loss to the New York Giants in Week 6, Barkley didn't hold back. He called out the team's offensive approach, demanding a return to the gritty, in-your-face, bully ball mindset that powered last season's success. "Last year, were we predictable?" Barkley said, frustration dripping from every word. "Everyone knew we were running the ball, and we still got it done. I'm tired of saying we're close." Oh, you can feel the heat in those words, folks. Saquon's not just a player, he's a man on a mission. But hold up, because offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo isn't buying what Barkley's selling. Patullo pushed back, saying, "When we're on schedule, we can dominate, but when we're behind, defenses throw exotic looks at us. We're stuck in a spot where we can only do a few things, and they know it." This, my friends, is a clash of philosophies that could define the Eagles' 2025 season. Barkley wants to pound the rock like it's 2024, when he racked up an eye-popping 2,005 rushing yards. Patullo, though, seems to think the answer lies in adaptability, not stubbornness. So, who's got the edge in this debate? Let's break it down. First, the numbers don't lie, and they're screaming Barkley's name. The Eagles' offense is languishing at 30th in the NFL in total yards, 30th. For a team with the firepower of Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Barkley himself, that's a stat that stings worse than a Cowboys fan chanting in Philly. Barkley's on pace for just 921 rushing yards this season, a far cry from his career-defining performance last year. Even in losses where he's averaging a solid 4.9 yards per carry, he's only getting 18 touches. 18. For a guy who can break a game wide open, that's like benching LeBron in crunch time. Veteran lineman Lane Johnson, a cornerstone of this Eagles squad since 2013, didn't mince words either. He called the offense very predictable, pointing to a lack of commitment to the run game. Now, Jalen Hurts, our dual-threat quarterback and the heart of this team, pushed back on that claim, saying the offense is versatile. But here's the rub: the Eagles are stuck in a vicious cycle on early downs. They're falling behind the chains, facing third-and-long situations that scream "pass" to every defensive coordinator in the league. It's like watching a poker player show their cards before the flop. Defenses are teeing off, and Patullo's play calling is struggling to break free. Let's zoom out for some context. The Eagles, who soared to Super Bowl glory in 2017 with Nick Foles' legendary Philly Special, have a legacy of toughness. From Reggie White's bone-crushing sacks to Brian Dawkins' electrifying hits, this franchise thrives on physicality. Last year, Barkley embodied that spirit, bulldozing defenses in a way that had fans singing "Sweet Caroline" at the Link with extra gusto. But this season, that swagger's gone missing, replaced by a frustrating predictability that's got even the most die-hard fans, like my buddy Mike from South Street, who's got an Eagles tattoo bigger than my TV, scratching their heads. So, what's the root of this mess? It's all about those early downs. When the Eagles fall behind, they abandon the run, even when Barkley's gashing defenses. Take those two recent losses: 4.9 yards per carry, yet only 18 touches for Saquon. That's not just a stat, it's a strategy screaming for a reboot. Compare that to 2024, when the Eagles ranked top 10 in rushing yards and leaned on Barkley to control the clock and wear down opponents. This year, they're playing catch-up, and it's killing their identity. Let's bring in a fictional expert for some perspective. I caught up with former Eagles running back LeSean McCoy, who knows a thing or two about carrying the rock in Philly. "Saquon's right," McCoy told me. "You've got a guy who can change the game, but you're not feeding him. You don't bench a guy like that when he's rolling. Get back to that smash-mouth Philly football." McCoy's words echo what fans are feeling. Give Barkley the ball, and let him remind the NFC East why he's a generational talent. Now, let's talk about the man at the helm, head coach Nick Sirianni. He's treating this mini-bye week like an emergency pit stop, saying the staff is looking at everything. But don't expect a shakeup just yet. Sirianni's got Patullo's back, shutting down any talk of changing play callers. Still, the pressure's on. The Eagles face a brutal test in Week 7 against the Minnesota Vikings, whose defense, led by Brian Flores, blitzes like it's their job to make quarterbacks see stars. If Patullo can't craft a game plan that unleashes Barkley and keeps Jalen Hurts out of third and forever, this season could spiral faster than a cheesesteak line at Geno's on game day. Looking ahead, the stakes couldn't be higher. The Eagles, at 2-4, are teetering on the edge of playoff contention in the ultra-competitive NFC East. A win against the Vikings could spark a turnaround, but a loss might deepen the rift between Barkley's vision and Patullo's playbook. If the Eagles can rediscover their physical identity, think 2017, when they bullied their way to a Lombardi trophy, they could still make a run. But if this disconnect festers, we might be talking about draft picks instead of playoffs come January. Let's sprinkle in some Eagles trivia to keep the vibes high. Did you know the "Fly Eagles Fly" chant started in the 1930s, inspired by a fight song for the old Frankfurt Yellow Jackets? Or that the Eagles' rivalry with the Giants is one of the NFL's oldest, dating back to 1933? This Week 6 loss stings extra because of that history. Losing to New York is like forgetting the lyrics to "Sweet Caroline" at a Philly tailgate. Unacceptable. Pop culture tie-in. Think of the Eagles' offense as the Avengers in Infinity War, loaded with talent but struggling to unite against a common foe. Barkley's like Thor, ready to swing Mjolnir, but Patullo's game plan feels like it's stuck in a time loop. The Eagles need their endgame moment, and it starts with a unified vision. So, Eagles fans, what's next? Circle Week 7 on your calendars, because that clash with the Vikings is more than a game. It's a referendum on this team's identity. Will they soar like the birds we know they can be, or will they stay grounded? Head to x.com for the latest buzz, and don't miss a second of the action on Sunday. Fly Eagles fly, and let's see if this team can find its wings again.